So after a very long time, after Adobe Firefly came in picture, I'm gonna try it out for the very first time today. So the minute you sign in on the Adobe Firefly website, this is something you will see, right? So there is, just like OpenAI, they're going to be telling you that this is like a experiment environment, and what I've specifically chosen to work on right now is the text effects option. So let's see what we want to use, right? So there is chocolate chip cookies. Alright, so let's say, so I'm telling it to write Upyoga in highly technical wire neuron style. Let's see what it generates. You can see you already have like sample prompts here. If you want to experiment, you can select prompts from here to generate those. It went ahead and generated Firefly here. Like, I don't know if we can, oh, okay, so the text is here. So let's say this is the text. Okay, highly technical wire neuron style. Let's see, and we can continue to add like more things here. Let's say dark. So this is basically, it's kind of generating the text, and on top of that text, it's using, I think, stable diffusion in the backend to generate this. Say, yeah. So this one looks pretty cool. Okay, dark text. Let's see if it changes anything there. I don't know if we can do upyoga.com. The spacing is like too much. Gonna be removing the .com and just keep this one here. This one looks okay. We're gonna be selecting background color. Yeah, it looks way more cooler now. You can also select the font style. You can match the shape. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, this one looks okay. From the standpoint of sample prompts, is there anything we want to experiment with? Not really. So let's say this background. Okay, so I don't think we can do much here. Like, this is a good result, you can go ahead and download it, but don't think you can play around with this much, right? So for example, if you wanted to keep some text upwards and then some of that text under that, maybe you'll still have to do manual editing. So I can obviously like do things like these, right? But you will still have to kind of figure out a way in where you print, say, some of these now and download it, and then the rest of these later on, right? So let's say you remove this, and then this one can be like added under this maybe, but that's like a manual work to do, right? So again, this was the text effects. Let's also try text to, I'm not gonna go with text to image right now, but let's just try the generative fill. I've already tried this on Photoshop, but I'd like to kind of give another shot here. So this is, yeah, this is the image that I'm going to be trying it on. Okay, let's say we want to generate background. So it kind of extracted the image of the car. Let's see what kind of background it generates. Let's say we tell it to generate like a rustic background. Let's see what we get. So it's similar to what we do in Photoshop, but the number of things you can do here is limited, right? Oh man, this looks very good. Was this not the original image? I think if you go a couple of samples, hey, this one looks very original. It kind of almost feels like this was the same image we had fed. Let's see what image we had fed. No, this is a different image for sure. But yeah, I mean, this was a really good generation. I don't feel like this was generated by AI. Like, it seems like a car that was genuinely had an accident and was, you know, somewhere in a rustic area. Anyway, so I'm gonna use a better example. I'm gonna go and take an image. Let's say this is the image, right? So going to be downloading this one real quick, and we're gonna be playing around with this. So the image is downloaded. Go back. I'm not gonna try text to image, by the way, because at this point we've had enough of that. So upload the image here. Yeah, so you can add the area, subtract the area, you can generate the background. So let's say we wanted to subtract this. Okay, yeah, so you have to click twice. For whatever reason, it's not that great. Anyways, it came back. Okay, so you select the area. Okay, it kind of removed. We selected the area to remove, and it removed it, and now it's generating like a couple of samples that could fit well there. Let's wait for it to generate some samples. Yeah, you can see this is the first one. The second one, because they violate user guidelines. Okay, I don't think these are good generations, so let's tell it to generate more images. I don't know what pan means. Oh yeah, so it's kind of generating on the right or the left side. So okay, I'm gonna keep this one for now. The reason why it's not generating great image is because of this red thing. So let's try and remove the whole thing here and see if we can generate something here. Now that the red color is not in the context, maybe we'll be able to generate like a better image. Okay, this one looks okay, and the other ones are not even available to play around with because they violate user guidelines for some reason, right? So anyways, let's keep this one, and let's say we wanted to add an object here and we select this area, right? For some reason so let's select this area, and let's say a boat. Should be able to add like a boat in this region, because when I was trying the generative fill feature, it's pretty good generation. Like, if you look at the quality of the generation, it's done a great job. Similarly, this is how it also works in the Adobe Photoshop. When you're trying to generate the image, you can obviously see there are 4 samples it gave us. So let's say this one looks best, but let's generate a few more because it seemed out of context. You can see the theme is a more darker theme, but the boat was a more vibrant one. You can see all of these also have a similar problem. So let's try and generate more. I hope the previous one, I can find the previous one here. This one I really like, but let's see if we get better samples. Okay. No, I think the initial generation was better. Specifically this one looks very aligned with the background. Now let's go ahead and add a man standing here. So let's say we select this area and man standing, leaning on the tree. Okay, let's see what happens. We could also be generating a couple of ravens here on the tree. Okay, that's some sort of a weird man leaning on the tree. Well, this is a good generation, but it does not align with the image. Okay, this one does not align with the image. Oh man, this looks great, because somehow this also has a dark texture for the image. So I'm likely gonna go with this one if we don't get better generations, right? I'm gonna go with this one, right? So I'm also going to be now adding some ravens in the tree. So let's say we selected 5 areas in the tree, and let's add ravens and see what kind of results we get, right? Hopefully it should be able to leverage the area of the brush. Now also you can, by the way, reduce the size of the brush. So if you want to ensure that you only select the smaller area, you can do that. You see the ravens are added in the image, and this one looks okay, but I'm gonna just give it another shot and generate more samples for me. Okay, let's also look at post that. What we want to do is, I think the image has significantly gone through changes anyways, but you can see there is not in this image, but you look at this image, right? There is you can see mild circles around the image, right? So it's not completely unnoticeable, if I may, but it's not too bad either. So let's say we want to generate, by the way, if you want to change the brush size, you can do it from here, right? I'm just using it for the default features to see the kind of generation we can get. Let's generate a house here. Okay, a small house. Let's see what kind of results we get. This one looks aligned with the image, right? But let's generate a few more. Okay, this one is okay. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with the third one. Okay, let's see if somehow we can generate a car near the house. Okay, alright, so it was able to generate the car, but I don't like these images. Basically I want to generate like a silhouette of sorts. Let's see if we can do that. The area is still selected, so we should be able to generate something on these lines. Again, not really impressed by these generations. I'm gonna give it another shot. There is also settings you can play around with here. So let's say we improve the guidance strength a bit and see how it looks now. Not really. I don't think I want to do that. So let's just say we want to add some area here. Say both car and house silhouette. Let's see what we get. Again, you'll not get like a perfect answer on your first generation. This is okay. This is seriously okay, but the car is not great. You'll have to keep experimenting with the designs in order to get the answer. So this one looks like a tractor of sorts. Yeah, this one is fine, but it looks like the car is carrying a house. Maybe you want to change house with. Okay, so apparently it was kind of combining those prompts and generating the image. So let's see if we can create like two separate entities for those. Yeah, this one's okay, like way better than the ones that we've previously seen. It's still not dark. I'm gonna try, if I don't get generations, I'm gonna try and change the prompt to add dark in it. Well, this is okay, but the car is not realistic. Let's say we add dark and low visibility in here, see what we get. Anyways, this is like the last thing I'll generate in the image. Post that, I'm gonna go back to the main screen and see if there's anything else we need to play around with. If not, I think that should be all for the video. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one now. Okay, so this is the final generation we generated from the original one. So you compare it with the original one, you'll see that it was like a blank image with none of these objects, but now it looks like there is like a human who's living near this lake. Again, the human is way bigger than even the boat, so it's not very realistic. Obviously you have to play around in order to make it realistic, but at least it kind of gives some context or a story about the image per se. Okay, so let's go back and see what else we have here. This is the recolor one, which we haven't tried, so let's just go ahead and give this one a shot. Again, this basically is used to take your image and kind of do some recoloring for the image. So for this, I'm gonna just take one of these samples here. I think I already clicked one of the samples. So let's say this was the image, and if you wanted to recolor it in different samples, you can do that. So let's say you wanted to do faded emerald city, it will generate all the images in those formats. You can also, I think these are like color tones of sorts. So this is more from the standpoint of design. It's great for illustration. Let's say we wanted to do techno city futuristic. Let's see what we get. I think it's, yeah, this is great for illustration, but I think this is very specific to designers. May not be very specific to a lot of us, and plus it needs like a SVG file here, so you won't be able to play around if you don't have one. But it can do a great job for logos. So if you have logos, you want to recolor them in a specific format, you should be able to use this for those use cases. Alright, so that's pretty much gonna be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much and have a good one.